using the planet as a weapon herself.
Now, how was that? Now this is new to me.
Earthquakes,
Tidal
volcanoes,
waves,
tsunamis.
Okay, no, it's not
hurricanes,
new to me then because
tornadoes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you have mentioned that.
And this
Natural
way,
disasters.
this way, then there is no one to blame but
Mother
Mother
Nature.
Nature, God. When
Gaia.
indeed there is the man behind the curtain over there.
Yeah, like the Wizard of Oz, hiding behind, pulling all the little
Manipulating
strings,
events.
Now,
manipulating.
when Scott first proposed to me and educated me that it's possible to cause earthquakes from outer space using ground units, interferometers, using the HARP system, I thought, I don't know, is that possible? So I checked into it, and I need to explain to the layman like this. It's not so much that we've got a particular type of weapon that shoots out any type of energy that does that particular damage. What happens is we use the Earth's energy that's already in existence and we redirect it. And that is very possible. You can check the HARP system out, HAARP, out of Alaska. This is not a conspiracy.
No.
They are not
This is
hiding
real.
it. They have their own website. They're blatant to tell you what it is.
We've talked to the guy who owned the patents for it.
Right.
Dr.
Bernard.
Bernard Eastland.
We were one of his last interviewers.
Yes, we were.
Yeah, unfortunately, he did pass away. I believe it was December.
Early December
Yes.
of 07.
Yeah, and I got to tell you, he's not the guy I thought he was. I thought he was going to be some horrible warmonger
No,
type.
he was a
No.
grandpa. He was a cool dude.
Yeah,
Very,
he
very
was.
cool
He was a
guy.
wonderful
But
guy.
what's
He was
interesting is
charming.
so many of these scientists know the potential uses of their technologies, of their ideas, of their
Right.
creations. But they are working for labs. And so to
And
keep their
therefore-
jobs.
To put
they-
food on the table.
Yeah, to put food.
Take care of your family.
You're told to do your job. Don't think about it. Just do your job. And
Detach.
Go home.
Detach.
Now,
Yeah,
in the case of Bernard
don't think about
Eastland, he was essentially tapping into some old technology and ideas. Tesla.
Tesla's.
Tesla perfected that early 1900s. And he had the Tesla coil, a giant tower with a big coil on the top, and he had figured out that you can redirect electricity, electromagnetic fields into particular areas, and you could cause a lot of damage. Oh, let's go back to the tsunami. There was talk around the internet, and I don't know whether you believe that, but maybe you do, that the tsunami was caused by a deep, deep earthquake. I got that
they
information
have-
from you.
They have said it was a very deep earthquake.
Which isn't supposed to happen.
Not in that particular spot.
No.
But yet it did.
But it happened.
And there are a couple of Defense Secretary William Cohen in 1995 essentially said as much, and you could probably Google the quote from Defense Secretary Cohen that electromagnetic waves, and he said terrorists, in quotes,
Right.
were using electromagnetic waves to stimulate earthquakes, volcanoes, and climate change.
What's it doing to the planet? If you take a massive amount of energy and confine it to one area, isn't it going to rob,
Especially
deplete
when
other
you're,
areas?
pulsing the atmosphere and
Exactly, and according to Dr. Bernard Eastland, we did interview him, he's saying you can raise and lower the atmosphere.
yes. Well, it's a
And
natural
very
part of
fast,
this.
very, very
Extremely
quickly.
quickly.
It's not a slow process. He says you can raise
Yeah,
and
you're
lower.
pulsing it. Boom,
Pulsing
boom.
it.
You're
Yes.
creating waves. You're
You're
creating
creating waves,
gravity
yeah.
waves.
Yes, if you can do that to the atmosphere on a grand scale, then you could take the energy, redirect it, confine it to a place like it was off India,
Right, exactly. Off Indonesia.
Indonesia, excuse me, and create that earthquake. And next thing you know, you got a
could.
tsunami,
Yes,
and it
that's
takes
right.
out.
250,000 plus people.
All right, we want to zoom on in here, Miami. And this is the web page of Lieutenant Colonel Thomas Bearden. There's some work of his that I find fascinating, and then there's some other stuff which I'm still
Questionable.
is questionable.
Yeah.
And he's basically saying that for the last 50 years, the weaponization of scalar electromagnetics has been played.
Hold on.
And
Go
one of
back up.
his quotes is that North America has not had natural weather since 1976. Fascinating that is the year. That is the year that global warming began.
Yeah.
And began in earnest.
Now, what I want you to take a particular
Coincidence? Or
Or
look
not,
at this
yeah.
photograph. It's a fantastic photograph to show how the magnetic field grid system works. These clouds are all sectional. They're all sectional. You can see waves going in this direction, and then they cross wave each other. So it's like if you took two rocks through one in the pond, through another one, the waves intersecting, and they create these little squares in the clouds. And that's pretty cool stuff.
Okay, I'm
So-
going to go back to your point, though,
And
Scott, about
there's the
happens
quote,
to be
Miami.
1976 when climate change
Focus.
supposedly starts. Okay, could it be natural? That's when it started? Or could it be, as he's suggesting,
yeah.
possibly, there's a connection?
I think that a couple of things happened that year. And if you want to go into the spirituality side, that this planet was subjected to the beginnings of the increase in vibration,
Right. There you
and
go.
preparing us for this consciousness shift, which is
coming
presently underway. And that means that every molecule, every
Everything
atom is
is
subjected to these
changing.
greater energies.
Now, I think for the good of man, for the betterment of man, this technology could be used for droughts.
It certainly
Can
can
be used for everything.
Forest
and it
fires.
probably is to some extent.
Now, the question is
Again.
creating droughts or mitigating droughts.
Doing both.
Then,
Doing
and that's
both.
my solution.
My feeling is that we're doing both.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, again, guys, this is not a conspiracy. Not at all.
Well,
a conspiracy is something where.
But it is a conspiracy because
Well-
it is happening.
No. Because they're blatant about it. The Heart Project. The Heart Project is.
But
is
that
all
Let's
has
say
nothing to
the
do with
silence about it is
conspiracy.
conspiracy.
Yeah.
The
Well-
silence, and that's the only thing that's conspiratorial about it is the silence.
And I'm not sure it even enters into that realm of conspiracy anymore.
No.
That is out there. It
Yeah, it's
is
just open.
known.
Yeah.
It's just-
Weather modification. People talk about it. Global change. That's,
That's
climate
accepted.
change. That's accepted. The coming shift, 2012, we've talked about. People are, that's all out in the open. The idea of a conspiracy is something that is so dark and so hidden that
Yeah,
very
exactly.
few know about it, and they are totally ridiculed. These
Sounds like
things-
something Jeff or Hoover said. Edgar, the FBI dude.
Yeah. The one in the tutus.
Well, what he said was that if people knew the vastness of the conspiracy that was foisted against them, they wouldn't know what
They
to
wouldn't
do
know what to
because of
do.
the vastness. And he had glimpses of that in
he
the
did.
50s.
I know.
He was a mental case.
Well, guys.
That's why he was there.
Yes, yeah. Why he was the FBI director? No better person for it.
Oh,
Alrighty, I think that concludes it, right?
Yeah, I think so. 21st century warfare. It's an interesting game, and
not a game.
well,
Not a
no,
game.
it's not a game.
It
Some
is a
people
game.
look at it as
No.
a game.
All right, it's a game.
It is a
turned
game.
real.
It's
a game gone.
Guys, I'm going to go back to it. Okay, it's a game, and to prove that, the video, dude.
Yeah, dude.
All right,
Okay,
all
it was an
right,
exciting
all right.
moment. Okay, they get pleasure out of it. They gain
so-
pleasure.
Let's not say they. I'm not going to generalize. That one instant.
The guys
you
pushing
have
the
to
buttons.
admit, that one person in that one instant. We can only look
But
at that.
dude, how many times has he done it?
Exactly.
You know, how many times
Yeah.
that day? How many times? And when you have 3 million Iraqis displaced, and we're probably upwards of 700,000 fatalities out of that
Yeah, they
war.
don't release
and,
those
and
numbers
we're
today.
bitching about 4,000 Americans.
I got
the ratio
That's a
is just
very
I want to roll
low
back
number.
to a dude, okay?
Okay.
And that is this, dude, okay? You get these young kids over there. They're very, very impressionable, man. When you're
Yes,
at
they
that
are.
age and you're looking at your
I don't know
some
who they
guy who's
are
supposed to be
yet.
smarter than you. He's your commanding officer, and he's got a bunch of people. You think that these guys are it. You think they're monoliths, and whatever they say is absolutely 100% true and correct.
You think
So-
they're honorable.
yeah, and you think they're honorable, and
country.
essentially it comes down to it's almost brainwashing, because if you're getting pleasure out of hitting these buttons, okay, like a video game,
It's a mind pleasure.
there's just something not right about that.
But that's the nature of warfare. I mean, I have to say that if you look back in history, consider probably World War II when we were doing the bombing raids, the blitzes, the blitzkrieg. you know.
Dresden.
Yeah, exactly. They were probably going, woo, woo, too. I mean, come on.
And
It's
it may have
war.
been
It's
just because
war.
it was them and not us,
Yes,
taking
exactly.
the hits.
We're taking out, quote, the enemies, the bad guys.
And again, war is an illusion. I mean,
Yes,
the
it is.
need for war is... Anyway,
Yeah,
that's the 21st
yeah.
century, and I promise you, it's just going to get more interesting as we
Yeah,
go
it's
through the
going
years.
to.
And we're having fun doing this.
Yeah. So in future episodes, we're going to look at the weather and the natural aspects of these things in a little more detail, because literally we've just scratched the surface. And does it happen over there, or does it actually happen overhead? You know, and we'll address
Yeah.
those issues too. Thanks for joining us. I'm Scott Stevens.
I'm Richard Heating.
And I'm Barb Slusser. We
We're the
are
Science
detectives.
Detectives.